Have you ever walked away from a family gathering, a discussion with a neighbor, or even an important conversation with your doctor, feeling that frustrating pinch of regret? You had so much you wanted to say, a vital point to make, but the words just seemed to tangle, or perhaps you felt brushed aside, unheard in the hustle and bustle of modern life. If you've ever wished you could communicate your wisdom more effectively, influence discussions with gentle grace, and always leave feeling truly understood, then this, my dear friends, is the most important message you'll hear today. Don't let another moment pass where your valuable voice goes unheard. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on 6 remarkable yet surprisingly simple strategies that can completely transform how you engage in any conversation, ensuring your experience and insight shine brightly. These aren't about being loud or aggressive. They're about being brilliantly, subtly, and intelligently persuasive. Imagine walking into every discussion knowing you hold the keys to respectful understanding and confident clarity. It's time to unlock the powerful voice that's always been within you. And trust me, once you discover these methods, you'll wonder how you ever managed without them. One of the most gentle yet profoundly effective ways to steer a conversation comes when someone challenges your ideas. Our natural instinct is often to immediately defend ourselves, which frequently escalates the discussion into a disagreement. Instead, consider this peaceful redirection. When confronted, surprisingly agree with part of what they've said first. It might sound peculiar at first, but hear this out. Imagine your dear grandchild is passionately explaining why their new gadget is absolutely essential and you have some reservations. Rather than saying, "No, that's just a waste of money," you might respond with, "You know, dear, you certainly make a good point about how much convenience that specific feature could offer, and I can appreciate your enthusiasm for modern tools." This opening acknowledges their perspective, validates their feeling, and disarms their defensiveness. They were prepared for resistance, but you offered a touch of understanding. What happens next is truly remarkable. Their brain, no longer anticipating a conflict, becomes receptive and actually begins to listen. When you admit someone is partly right, even in a small way, you project confidence, fairness, and thoughtful consideration, and most people are so taken aback by this unexpected display of reasonableness that their own guard completely drops, paving the way for a more constructive dialogue where your concerns can be truly heard. Our next profound strategy comes from the ancient wisdom of a very clever philosopher, Socrates, and it involves a most elegant approach to communication. Rather than directly stating someone is incorrect, you subtly guide them towards their own conclusions by asking thoughtful questions. Consider this scenario. A friend strongly declares, "Things were simply better in our day. Technology has ruined everything." Instead of launching into a rebuttal, you might respond, "That's a very understandable sentiment, my dear friend. When you say better, are you thinking specifically about the pace of life or perhaps the quality of personal connections? And do you ever feel that some of these new technologies, say video calls with family far away, actually enhance connection in their own unique way?" Observe what unfolds. By asking gentle, insightful questions, you're not attacking their belief. You're simply inviting them to consider different facets or perspectives within their own argument. They begin to critically evaluate their original statement, sometimes even discovering nuances or inconsistencies within their own thinking, all on their own accord. The sheer beauty of this method is that when people convince themselves through their own contemplation, rather than being told, they genuinely internalize the new understanding. You transform from a potential antagonist into a supportive, questioning companion, fostering a much deeper and more lasting comprehension. The very words we choose possess an incredible power to either open doors or create walls in our conversations. Slight alterations in language can lead to vastly different outcomes. A cardinal rule for graceful communication is to avoid directly telling someone they are wrong, as it often immediately triggers defensiveness. Instead, try framing your disagreement as a personal feeling of uncertainty. "I feel a little confused by that point," or "I'm having difficulty aligning that with what I know." Contrast. "You're being utterly ridiculous," with the more approachable. I feel somewhat frustrated by this logic and wonder if we're seeing the full picture. The first is an accusation, sparking a conflict. The second, an expression of your own perception, invites clarification. Furthermore, cleverly embed words that implicitly seek agreement without demanding it, making your points feel like universal truths. Phrases like obviously, clearly, or everyone knows that subtly present your perspective as widely accepted common sense. For example, clearly planning ahead for our future health needs is simply common sense, carries a different weight than merely, I think we should plan for our health. And a highly effective technique involves posing questions that logically only have one answer, eliciting an immediate yes. Try asking, wouldn't you agree that maintaining our independence as long as possible is incredibly important to us? This immediate affirmation establishes a receptive state, encouraging further agreement. As a gentle embellishment when delivering a significant point, offering calm, steady, and kind eye contact shows sincerity and focus, affirming that your words come from a place of conviction and respect. In situations where a clear demonstration of diligence and forethought is required, having your facts at hand can be extraordinarily persuasive. This isn't about memorizing every tiny detail, but about showing you've taken the time to truly understand the bigger picture through research and information. When someone challenges your perspective, a measured, concise summary of relevant data can swiftly clarify your position. You might thoughtfully present something like, based on what I've seen in recent reports, the effectiveness rate for this particular approach actually stands at approximately 75%, and similar efforts undertaken in other communities showed these specific positive outcomes. Also, several financial analysts have projected this growth trend over the coming years. The aim here is not to overwhelm, but to illustrate that your viewpoint isn't a mere hunch, but one built upon substantial thought and inquiry. When others realize your argument is grounded in solid, available information, their brains naturally process this influx, and they often defer, sensing your deeper understanding. You don't need to present a PhD-level dissertation, but rather a compelling sketch of evidence. By doing so, when someone finds themselves unable to adequately counter your informed insights, they often quietly concede, understanding you've simply put in the diligent effort, lending considerable weight to your well-supported views. Our human minds, surprisingly, have a peculiar fondness for things that come in threes. It creates a feeling of completeness, balance, and reliability, much like the three-legged stool is naturally stable. Whether it's telling a story, making a request, or presenting an argument, offering 3 points often feels instinctively more robust and convincing. One reason might seem insufficient, 2 can feel incomplete, but 3 consistently hits the sweet spot, signaling thoroughness and thoughtful consideration. For example, instead of simply saying, "We need to adjust our budget," try, "I believe adjusting our budget is essential for 3 clear reasons. It will significantly reduce our financial worries, it allows us to redirect funds towards our health and hobbies, and it provides a comforting sense of security for the long term." Instantly, your suggestion sounds more planned, more comprehensive, and ultimately more compelling. Similarly, if you find yourself disagreeing with something, articulating, "I have 3 reservations about that idea," not only provides clarity, but makes your dissent appear well-reasoned and constructive rather than dismissive. This simple structural tactic makes your words feel remarkably more professional and prepared compared to someone who might only offer a single, isolated thought. The inherent harmony of the rule of 3 effortlessly weaves structure and persuasive clarity into your arguments, often without anyone even consciously recognizing the secret to its remarkable power. Finally, we arrive at the conversation closer. Not meant to be harsh or unkind, but a masterfully timed statement that respectfully yet definitively resolves a persistent debate or gently highlights an undeniable flaw, gracefully bringing an end to circular discussion. It's that perfectly phrased line that cuts through the noise, leaving a moment of thoughtful pause rather than heated rebuttal. This isn't about winning through aggression, it's about discerning intelligence. Imagine someone continually revisiting a point you've already discussed, or proposing a solution they themselves have conspicuously avoided. A calm, well-placed observation, delivered with composure, could be, "It's certainly an interesting perspective, especially coming from someone who perhaps hasn't had the practical experience of implementing that particular strategy." Or, "I find it intriguing how certain we're becoming about an idea that only just entered our discussion." The true magic lies in impeccable timing. You patiently await that specific moment when their argument stretches too thin, revealing an internal inconsistency or an overlooked detail. When you then calmly and respectfully present your insight, it's not confrontational, but simply a clear reflection of a reality that everyone can perceive. When executed with poise and genuine respect, this technique isn't about leaving someone speechless in defeat, but about allowing a moment of truth to settle, respectfully concluding the discussion, and letting the collective understanding gracefully advance. It's the ultimate method for dominating not with force, but with understated, undeniable clarity, securing not just your peace, but genuine forward movement for everyone involved. The true artistry of impactful communication doesn't come from mastering a single trick, but from understanding how to wisely combine these elegant methods. Think of yourself as a skilled chef, knowing exactly which ingredients to blend for the perfect dish, adapting your approach based on who you're speaking with and what the situation truly calls for. You might initiate a potentially difficult conversation by deploying the gentle agreement trick, disarming any initial tension. As you articulate your core points, consciously structure them using the compelling rule of three, providing an air of thoughtfulness and completeness. Should your facts be questioned, don't hesitate to unveil your carefully selected information bomb, demonstrating your thorough groundwork. And always keep the sophisticated conversation closer ready, not as an aggressive weapon, but as a graceful final stroke for bringing clarity and resolution. Every individual responds uniquely to different approaches, so the key, dear friends, lies in cultivating your ability to read the room, understand the person across from you, and fluidly switch between these techniques. This adaptability, this intuitive wisdom to choose the right words, the right pause, the right approach, is what will truly empower you, making you an utterly unstoppable and deeply respected voice in every discussion. You now possess the very techniques that can transform your daily interactions, allowing your rich life experience and wisdom to finally shine through. Knowing them is a wonderful first step, but putting them into practice is where the real joy begins. I sincerely encourage you to pick just one of these methods and integrate it into your very next conversation, perhaps with a loved one, a neighbor, or during a community gathering. Start gently, allow yourself to feel comfortable, and then gradually enrich your confident communication repertoire. It's an investment in being heard, truly understood, and wonderfully influential.